Okay, I'm kind of that opening bit's stupid, but I accidentally, well, kind of accidentally, somewhat accidentally did it in the first video, so I'm gonna do it from now on. Does that count as scripting things? I hope not, and I don't think so. So anyway, welcome back to the fourth episode of me rambling on for 15 minutes into a black screen. This episode, as usual, is unscripted, as all of them will be, so I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Uh, hmm. So, I've talked to you about the first play I've been in, which, as you know if you've seen the other videos, is Beauty and the Beast. And yeah, I played Cogsworth. So, I'm not sure if I told you the story of, like, how it happened and stuff, but yeah, I'm going to do that now. So, the first play I was ever in, I went up to my mom and like, hey, Mom, what's up with all the sauerkraut? And she just looked at me. My dear sweet mother just looked at me like a deer looks into the headlights of an oncoming train. And my dear sweet mother, she bent down and said, it's good for you. Weird Al Yankovic reference, more or less. The words aren't exactly all there, but whatever. Okay, so I went up to my mom and I'm like, hey Mom, I'm going to try out for the play. And she's like, okay, cool. I vaguely remember you telling you guys this, but I'm going to say it again. And she was like, okay, cool. And then she was like, he's not going to get anything. And I was like, I'm not going to get anything, but it's going to be fun anyway. And, oh man, hiccups. Okay, so I had zero singing training prior experience, zero acting experience, and zero dancing experience. And the people full well knew that. And I went in, I sang my lines. No, I said my lines, and then Java update, I don't care. And then then I got called back for Cogsworth, and I was like, hell yeah. And then then I went to callbacks, and there were a few other people there who were called back for Cogsworth, and I beat them all apparently. And 6th grade lead-ish role in the play, and I'm like, nice. And then I didn't, and then yeah, once that was done, my second play was Go with the Flow. It was written by the director, and to be honest, it wasn't that great. But whatever. Enough of that one. My third play was Little Mermaid in 7th grade. Oh yeah, the second play was in between the summer of 6th and 7th grade. So 7th grade was Little Mermaid. I tried out for Grimsby, I believe. Yeah, Grimsby. No. I tried out for Scuttle the Seagull and got called back for Grimsby and didn't get a part. But I was still a fish in the background, as everyone who tried out was. And I was kind of upset, but whatever. That was still a funish show. It's definitely in my top 10 favorite plays I've been in. I've only been in 11. Haha. Wait, hold on, guys, guess what? Guess what? It's 420. Hell yeah. Okay, so speaking of 4, my 4th play was between the summer of 7th and 8th grade. And I went to an acting and improv camp. And at that camp, you and a group of other students wrote plays and performed them. And that was pretty fun. I had a good time. And we wrote one called The Crazy Seas Crash Catastrophe. We were in the C group based on our age, which is the second oldest age group. So yeah, that was fun. It was about a plane crash in the Bermuda Triangle or something. And I played a person who had crashed previously, and then another plane crashed on that island a few years later, and it just so happened to be my daughter who was on that plane as well. And it was like, wow, what a coincidence. But yeah. And then the fifth play. Yeah, 5. Number 5. The big old 5005. That one. 5005. No, just 5. Okay, well that one, that was Into the Woods. In the higher end of my favorites scale. That one was pretty fun. I tried out for the narrator and got called back for Cinderella's Prince and got Cinderella's Prince. And I was like, nice. And based on that, my brother came up with a theory that the school gives a bunch of 6th graders lead roles to like get them interested in acting. And it's just like, yeah, do whatever in 7th grade. And then they gave the good 8th graders roles again. But I was like, probably not. But it's that's the thing that might happen. Okay. Number 6 was between 8th and 9th grade. That was Bye Bye Birdie. That was a pretty fun play, if I do say so myself. Bye Bye Birdie. I didn't try out for it. No, there weren't even tryouts. You just showed up. I actually don't know. So I was taking a band class over the summer, and at the same time there were rehearsals going on for the summer play, which was Bye Bye Birdie. They were like, so the director of the play, who happens to be married to the conductor of the band, was like, hey, we need more guys to do the play. And then the conductor was like, hey, Jack, you're a guy and you do acting, go do the play too. And I'm like, oh, sweet. So I didn't have to pay $250 to get into that camp. But that was fun. And I got to play Hugo Peabody, and I got to punch someone in the face, and it was pretty fun. Pretty lit. Okay. That was 6, I believe. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. And 7. Ooh, 7. Fiddler on the Roof. Wow, what a play. Oh, man. 9th grade. Again, first year in a new school. Just right off the bat, lead role. Not the lead role, but a lead role, like a major role. I got Laser Wolf, the butcher, who was like, hey, I want to marry your 19-year-old daughter, even though I'm like 60-something. and then I got to sing a duet with a senior, and that was pretty cool. And to be honest, that was my favorite. No, that was pretty high up there in my favorites. That was a great play. Okay. Number 8, I did that acting and improv camp again I told you about. Except this time, I was in the D group because I'm 2 years older than I was back then. And we wrote a play called The Kale Kidnapping. And what happened was, it's like a newsroom, and like everything, there's like new interns who showed up. I was an intern and also a vlogger. There's new interns, and like everything that can go wrong, that can go wrong. Yeah, that's right. Does go wrong. And it's just mayhem. Like the head of the newsroom gets kidnapped by Uncle Vinny, who's everyone's uncle, but especially yours. And there's also a goat. So that was a fiasco. Yep. Okay. Number 9. You Can't Take It With You. Sophomore year, I played Mr. DePinna. It's a drama, not a musical, so that's pretty lit. I'm not a huge fan of singing, but I'll do it because it's acting. So yeah. So dramas are cool in my opinion because I get to just speak. What can I say about that? Oh, I got to wear a toga live on stage. Wow. Ha. That was fun. I also accidentally blew up the house. Spoilers. Yeah. So, number 10? Yeah, number 10. Yes, 10. Les Mis. Les Miserables. What a show. The Miserable Ones. What a show. I tried out for Jean Valjean, knowing good and well that I wasn't going to get the part, but I tried out for Jean Valjean because it was the one that best fit my vocal range, and I was like, hey, don't give me Jean Valjean. I'm not going to get Jean Valjean. Just trying out for him because it's the one that best fits my vocal range. And then I tried out for Jean Valjean. Then they gave me the Bishop. But it's kind of not my fault. It's kind of my fault, but it's like it's kind of stupid because the director for the plays was playing the piano as an accompaniment, but she gave us a recording to use to practice with at home. And I listened to that and sang along with it a lot. And then once the time came to audition, she didn't play it. And I was like, what the heck? So I pretty much had to sing a cappella, and I was just considering walking out because I was doing so bad, but that would look even worse. So I just kept going and then got stuck with the Bishop. But it was still really fun because I got to play other parts like Prouvaire and Combeferre and Major Domo, and I got to die. That's not really a spoiler because if you know anything about Les Mis, you know that everyone dies. So I got to play on the barricade and get shot, or more exploded, I guess. And honestly, that was a very fun experience. Really, really trained my vocal cords because there are no lines spoken in that play. It's all completely singing. So that was a fun. And the last play, which was literally 1 week after Les Mis ended. Les Mis started Thursday, ended Saturday, and then the next Thursday, A Midsummer Night's Dream started. That was the 11th play, and that was interesting. It's a comedy by Shakespeare, and I played a pretty kind of boring part. I played Theseus, the person who gets married, and then the players are like, hey, let's put on a show for this guy who's getting married, and then one of them gets turned into a literal ass, like the animal, and then gets turned back. And oh man, it's the final scene. You have to see it for yourself. I tried out for the bottom, who's like the main character, kind of. He's the one who really ties the play together and makes it a comedy. I'm glad I didn't get the part because I could not have done it justice as well as this other girl did. And oh man, she was good. I'm still it's just like that was a funny play. So yeah, I'm really into acting and doing stuff like that. Which reminds me, I guess, kind of reminds me. Wanted to ask you guys what you think of my voice, and if you think I could do voice acting stuff, and if you know anyone who needs voice actors, if you think I'm good enough, you could tell them, because I want to do voice acting, and it's acting, except you don't see me. It's just my voice. So yeah, do I have a good voice, and could I be good at voice acting? Answer that in the comments. But look, it's time to go. Goodbye.